Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well on this amazing midweek hump. Midweek hump. And I'm doing this video because a few of you had asked. I wrote in a video the other day about someone who they loved, Bryan Kohberger. Doing a lot of that today. Loved Bryan Kohberger. And said their name. And I said, if you want to hear about it, let me know. I had a lot of people who have come out. They hadn't seen it. Some had, but some hadn't. What am I talking about? Talking about this here. I thought I'd do something a little bit less, a bit more light-hearted. It's been one of them couple of days, isn't it? What with Megyn Kelly and Nancy Disgrace, Blumber. So Kentucky mum says Bryan Kohberger is her divine masculine and claims she sent him letters and dolled up pics. The Kentucky woman claims to write letters to Idaho murder suspect Bryan Kohberger while he's in jail and send him pictures of herself. You'll get to see it in a sec if you haven't already. A single Kentucky mother posted at least she's single. At least she's single. She's not doing this behind her partner's back. So she's got the freedom to play the field. So a single Kentucky mother posted dozens of lengthy diary-like posts where she professes her love for Bryan Kohberger, claims to have sent him letters and pictures of herself, and calls the quadruple murder suspect her divine masculine. Now, I don't know whether it's because she thinks that he actually did it and she's like a little bit hot under the collar at the thought of him being able to execute 4 people in 8 minutes. Maybe it's the time thing. Maybe it's, like a world record and she thinks he's a gold medalist. The woman who goes by Brittany J. Hislop on Facebook and claims to have a 16-year-old son, claims to have... What? Claims we don't think she has written about her feelings for Kohberger nearly every day, sometimes multiple times a day since early January. She's being stalked, mate. She is being stalked. I'm telling you now. Stalked. We talked about this the other day. The difference between some people say, no, she's under surveillance. She is under surveillance now. She's being stalked online. I know that the last I'd heard weeks ago is that Bryan is being kept isolated from other inmates, and so I know that we do both likely sleep alone. No, maybe he's got someone who comes and gets in with him, like Big Spoon, Little Spoon. As I mentioned in a past post, Hislop wrote in her most recent post, which was dated shortly after midnight Friday. Although I mentioned something about getting certain confirmations from him about his feelings and him being my divine masculine, I don't mean that I reach out to him to receive anything back at all from him, since I do that from a place of caring about him, sharing my feelings and knowing what a serious situation he's in. Yeah, it's pretty serious. Idaho at the moment, and pretty much anybody in mainstream media are trying to murder the poor motherfucker. I say poor motherfucker, look, later on down the line it might turn out that what's good for the goose is good for the gander. What I will say is I don't think that there's any reparations with people if it does later on turn out that all this stuff comes out that nobody knew prior to this and he's proven to be guilty. It doesn't make people's behaviour now right. And if they fail to convict him because of a lack of evidence, this is all we see, and then we find out that there are stuff that was hidden or there's other proof that proves that he wasn't in the area, then there's some people whose fucking heads are going to roll. Anyway, I digress. And that's her, look. Brittany J. Hislop. There we go. She's good at matching as well, look. She's got the red there and the red lipstick, so she's good at all that. I know that some people, they can't get that match thing. Hislop's first post was dated January the 4th, which was 5 days after Kohberger was arrested in connection with the murders of 4 University of Idaho students, Kelly Gonsalves, not Gonclaves, Blum, you fucktard, Madison Mogan, Xana Knodel, and Ethan Chapin. Notice that, 3 females, 1 male. Another one for you, Blum, you fucking idiot. She uses the phrase divine masculine counterpart in several posts, and she said she knows they're meant to be together, because of their astrological signs. Her posts are long, stream of consciousness type ramblings. That's not very nice, is it? Ramblings. That's what she's into. Cruel fuckers. Where she defends her love for Kohberger, that includes graphic details about how she's gone years without sex and searches Google for his images at night. Oh, Bryan. I can see it now. I don't want to see it now, but yeah, I can imagine it. That's fucking freaky. But there you go. Each to their own, each to their own. There are some men that if they experienced higher intimacy levels and sexual fulfillment would never go and want to find someone else to be with in those ways. And with that said, when I'm fixed on a particular person, such as my love interest, who I feel is more than that to me, I don't want any other men, Hislop wrote on February the 1st. I know that even if Bryan has been without sex for a significantly long time, as I have, it may not be as long as me length, since the length of time for me is very long. I fucked that up, didn't I? As I've mentioned in past posts, but how could people not see it as sad if he's my divine masculine counters like I've thought he is? There he is. That's probably one of the pictures that she uses to pleasure herself. In a January 30th post, she wrote, to anyone that says I'm not righteous for having the feelings that I do for Bryan, I will say that you likely aren't anyone to judge me in that regard, and also you may not understand my emotions and hardships and misfortunes. One thing I will say is somebody who has already made a conscious decision to basically say Bryan Kohberger's done this, he deserves to die, then yeah, you can't really criticise her for her thoughts and feelings, even though it's a different scope. It's the same thing. You're judging someone when you yourself are perhaps behaving in a manner that's not indicative of being a decent and open human being. Also, to anyone that judges me negatively regarding Bryan and my feelings for him, I'll say that you may not understand certain true love connections, such as twin flames, soulmates, and divine counterparts. There you go. It's in posts like the one on January the 27th, Hislop talks about sending photos to Kohberger and how she wants her makeup to look perfect. I wish that I could send him photos of me where I've made my makeup and hair and overall self look the best that I can look versus me sending photos that I'm not looking my best, she wrote. And look, what I will say is I know filters and makeup and everything can, change the dynamic somewhat. I know there's going to be a few people out there, both male and female, who probably in their younger years went out, brought home Snow White, woke up with fucking one of the dwarfs. But she don't look too bad. She don't look too bad at all. Do you know what I mean? Bryan Kohberger's, getting the, proven that even though every other fucking picture you see of Bryan, there's a female standing there with him, he's got problems with females. Many of the comments on her page plead with her to get help and focus on her son. This woman isn't the first to confess her feelings for a suspected murderer during a highly publicised trial. Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the most notorious serial killers, received letters while in jail from a love-struck woman that contained X-rated photos and graphic material. Lisa Daddio, a retired lieutenant who teaches at the University of New Haven, told us the US Sun in a previous interview that a fascination with serial killers always exists where people became enamored and literally fall in love with the epitome of a bad guy. She said it usually starts with letters saying they think the killer is innocent. Then they might send X-rated pictures and it escalates from there. What's beyond X-rated pictures? Actually send them bits of them? This is my left nipple. Reminds me of Danny Rowland. I think that there's a piece of thrill for the thrill seeker that just wants to be connected somehow, or to be the girlfriend, the wife, the boyfriend of so-and-so to a serial killer and this whole notoriety, Daddio said. Daddy-O, what a name. Daddy-O. Meanwhile, Kohberger remains in jail in Latah County, Idaho, where he is held without bail until he awaits trial for his alleged pre-planned attack on the 4 college students and attempt to cover his tracks. Latah County Magistrate Judge Megan Marshall has issued a gag order on the case, restricting comments from investigators and attorneys for both sides. So that was going way back when. But yeah, I thought I'd do that for you. Let me know down below what you think. Are you someone who's been sending Bryan pictures of yourself or other things? Are you someone that fantasizes about being with a serial killer? If so, let me know about it. I need something to keep me interested on this marvellous, marvellous midweek camp. And you look marvellous. You are marvellous. Thank you for being here, and I'll catch you all in the next one.